Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
A gorgeous July day in almost the end of September. Mostly sunny, warm and humid. 88 the high. It's 75 downtown.
Oh. Jock Jam.
The National Football League. And college football. Each week we talk it over with our pal Ray Bentley. Played in the NFL for a long time. Played college, played with the Michigan Panthers. Brought to you by The Score. 11 till 2 every day, 7 days a week. 70 TVs, all the sports packages, and 128 beers on tap. The most in West Michigan. Good morning, Ray.
Hey, what up, though?
How are you, man?
I'm actually pretty good this week. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I don't know. It's weird. I can't explain it, but I'm feeling it.
Well, I'm glad you found it again.
Well, Ray, do you remember the first day I met you? We had talked on the phone once before, but you and I ended up on a plane. We were both coming back from games.
He was the one winking at you.
Yeah.
And we ended up
pushing his tongue into the side of his cheek.
Randomly sitting by each other. And you were just getting back in shape. You hadn't felt well. And you were just getting back in shape. But last time I saw you, you posted on Facebook, you seemed like you could go out and play a couple downs, like maybe a third down.
Yeah, I remember that because was it you that was stinking up the first class cabin?
Nope. Yep. One of us smelled like booze and was drinking as many tiny water bottles as they could get. And then
that was a rough day. But you know what?
You woke up and I was putting together my charts, and you're like, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah, where the hell did you come from?
You were kind of asleep when I got on, and I'm like, "Well, I know this guy." Yeah, that was fun.
You know what? I'm in wonderful shape right now.
Nice.
That's part of it all coming together. I could play safety for probably a half a play right now, I think.
What are your workouts and diet right now? Are you back to well, no, when you played, you probably
No, you know what, though? I'm pretty intense about those things. I lift weights 4 days a week, and my diet consists of primarily protein and fat. God, I love fat. I try to stay away from the carbs.
Yeah, we Tom Brady.
Oh my gosh!
I was reading about. So one of you sent that last night. What his diet's like from beginning to end.
Yeah, seems miserable.
It's nothing but electrolytes and nuts.
Ray, do you think Brady? He will, because physically he is doing so much to keep himself on board. He's going to be able to play for a while yet, as long as his brain allows him to be that committed to everything, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Everybody hits the wall at a different time, and you'll know when it happens. Unfortunately for me, it was catastrophic. I hit it and blew up 3 knee ligaments.
Oh, yeah.
If Brady can avoid a similar type of demise, I don't see why he couldn't play another 5 years. Guys have done it, and quarterback is not that strenuous of a position other than, you're a target.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not running a fly route 4 plays in a row, and you're not banging into the guy in front of you every play, exerting every muscle in your body to its fullest, like you would if you're a lineman one way or another.
If the fat guys do their job, you might not get hit all day. So.
Yeah,
it's true. Oh, it's true. You're right though about the ending. It's either going to come like if you can still play. I mean, there are plenty of guys their career ends because a general manager or collectively they all say no. But like for you, a catastrophic injury where it's like, okay, well that's it, or the mind quits being willing to do all of the things you have to do to get ready.
Although with a quarterback, you'd think like at some point your arm just goes, all right, we've been doing this for too long. Stop it.
Yeah, all rubber bands lose their elasticity at some point. No question. But it's a weird thing because I honestly believe in my mind I could play the game today. I just need a different body. And I think I'd be pretty damn good. I still have the rage. I still have the fire. I still hate people.
Did you play angry?
Oh, that's the only way I knew how to play. It's kind of funny. Shane Conlon, who was, the young linebacker when I played back in the day.
Yeah.
He acted like the old guy. He was calm, and I would get all, spitting and cussing and just going, getting myself all worked up. And, he was taught that football was an athletic contest.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught it was all-out war and mayhem, and you got to kill that son of a bitch and go get him, kill him.
Yeah.
And, so different approaches,
yeah.
I guess.
Did you ever have anyone that you absolutely hated, like truly felt like you hated when you played with them, and then after you played, or maybe they came to your team or whatever, you got to know them, you're like, oh, they're okay?
Oh, just about everybody I ever played against, I had to manufacture some kind of hate.
You
but
did.
I know what you're asking. If I thought a guy was a real, you know what? Jim Kelly actually was that guy.
Really?
Yeah, I played against him in the USFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand to look at him. And then we got into a brawl after the game, and he came out in the papers and called me the biggest cheap shot artist in the league.
Whoa.
And then you had respect for him?
I'm like, finally he's a fan, He understands what I'm all about.
And that was when you were the Panthers, and he was with Birmingham, is that right?
No, he was with the Houston Gamblers.
Houston Gamblers, that's right.
And then when we became teammates, first week I was in Buffalo, he came over. I was talking to Kent Hull because we both had come from the USFL too, and Jim came over and made a USFL joke and said, "Wait a minute, you're Ray Bentley. You're the cheapest shot football player that ever lived," kind of thing.
Yeah. Way to quote yourself, Jim.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude.
Nice job, quarterback nerd.
I said, "Yeah, don't worry about it, Jim. I'm on your team now, so you won't have to worry about me hitting you in the back." So,
did you
go murder Tony Eason? Yeah.
When you were playing angry, did you ever reach into the bottom of a dog pile, grab someone's finger, and snap it Romo style?
No, you know what I like to do is pinch them. Right, you just
like
grab just a little bit of skin and just you hear the guys just screaming in the huddle.
Oh boy, yeah, you get them on the back of the arm. Oh,
yeah,
that's a sensitive
and what's
spot.
even better is when you actually get your own teammates randomly.
Oh, because
you're just reaching in there.
You're just
hoping for the
it don't
best.
matter. Whatever you get your hands on, you just start going through, man.
Yeah, this feels like a Buffalo Bills testicle to me. I made a mistake.
Yeah. Give it a squeeze. See what you think.
Yeah.
Ray Bentley with us. Talking football, thanks to the Score. You can go see him any day. 128 beers on tap, the most in West Michigan, like we said, monthly beer events. Ray, the Lions on Monday night. I'm sure you watched it. I'm having a hard time not throwing my Lions blinders on, drinking the Kool-Aid, because that was a game that historically they would blow late. They wouldn't take advantage of opportunities, and then the other team would find a way to win.
Yeah, who are these guys, right? I'm telling you, we talked about it a little bit last week. I think they're an upper echelon NFL team, top 10 type of deal. Can they close that last little gap? We'll find out a lot more. I think they're going to give Atlanta a lot of trouble on Sunday and might even win that game. And then, oh, my goodness, look out. Cause
then I'm going to go crazy.
Well, you and everybody else is probably the hungriest fan base in the country might just be the Detroit Lions.
I think so.
I'm feeling it. So.
My bigger problem is I'm starting to drink the Kool-Aid on the general manager because I'm seeing guys drafted in the later rounds that other teams passed on, like you see with other teams that develop depth and eventually become very good. They have guys that no one talked about on draft day that end up playing very well, and we're starting to see that a little bit with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm a Bob Quinn believer now. I got to be based on what I've seen here early on, and I'm not surprised necessarily. The Patriots have a market on things, man. And if you've got your wits about you, if you know your gazintas and maybe pass by the schoolhouse a few times, and you grow up through that organization, you're going to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And I think he knows how to do it. So the only thing that still scares me is Caldwell's going to screw him at some point or another. I just don't have a lot of faith in old boy.
Yeah,
oh boy.
I know, winningest coach in team history. And we all still think he needs to wake up. We all want to pinch him.
Yeah.
Wake up, man. I give him credit, though. He was asked after the game about whether or not he deserves a contract extension, because if I were in his position where they've made the playoffs 2 out of his 3 years or whatever, and he's coaching and his contract's up at the end of the year, I could see where it would make sense to go, yeah, I feel like I deserve an extension.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Bad news when you're only 2-0 because you might lose the next 5.
Right.
Yeah, get it while you're hot, while you can. I say, but
and
I like the way Caldwell comports himself in general. I like his approach with players. I like his approach to the job, and in terms of the things you just talked about. He's just going to work and let all that stuff take care of himself. I agree with a lot of his stuff. I just don't think he manages a game very well. that's where he's going to cost them.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm just impressed that you used the word comport.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah, somebody's written a couple books.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a little early.
Now, let's say the Lions are a top 10 team, but if they are, they're probably the 10th best team, maybe the 9th, at least at this point. There's a huge difference between that and where the Patriots and the Falcons, maybe the Seahawks, might be at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's the thing. It looks like this year that there's going to be a few elite teams. I'm going to put the Steelers in that group.
Yeah.
You know, I think Carolina has a chance. Maybe they're looking pretty good here early on, but there's some ugly football out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to me that it should be that hard. And then you watch this stuff, and it's like, oh, my God, what do these guys do all week? Do they actually practice?
I see a lot of guys.
It just blows my mind.
Ray, talking about bad offensive line play throughout the league, that it's plaguing the league. The teams with good offensive lines are way ahead of everybody else. The Lions have their issues. They're missing their left tackle, starting a guy that gets a penalty every couple minutes. And
he's trying, though.
He is trying. Then the right side of the line still getting to know each other. But there's a lot of teams, and I keep seeing that. And I like Brian Baldinger was saying on Twitter yesterday that he says it's because everybody's in shorts all year long, and the only way you can get good at playing left guard or right guard or tackle is to do it and hit someone over and over, and that's not allowed anymore.
There is a lot to that. I see tackling getting so sloppy, and they're changing the way you tackle people too. Now they don't necessarily want you to hit them. They want you to kind of do a flyby, wrap them up and roll them to the ground like a gator roll or something like that.
And that's a lot harder.
Oh, it's harder.
Yeah,
that's fun to look at.
That's how lions get gazelles.
Yeah.
It looks cool in nature.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you're kind of encouraged to arm tackle.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It always was put your face mask on the football, head across the bow, keep the legs driving, shoot the hips up and through, wrap and roll. Now it's just grabbing them and slide around a little bit, see if they go down.
Who was the dude who was going to pay fines for hitting him high?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Has he done that yet?
Well, he'd have to do it on the down low, but I don't know that anyone has hit him up high in 2 weeks. So
Larry's a little different, though.
He is. Ray, Michigan has Purdue, which before the year you would have said, well, they'll win that game for sure. But Purdue's played really well, one of the higher scoring teams in the country, and sort of a renewed energy. They're actually playing 4 quarters instead of quitting and midway through the second, as they were sort of known to do. So that's a tougher game than you'd have thought.
Yeah, I think Jeff Brom has done an unbelievable job coming in there and changing the attitude. Purdue's had some talent.
Yeah.
But they just haven't had the wherewithal, the innards. But I got Auburn at Missouri this week, and Purdue went out to Missouri last week, and I watched them, and they just destroyed the Tigers. I mean, they made them quit almost. I almost felt bad for them.
Yeah.
This ain't going to be a rollover game for the Wolverines. They better unpack it a little better than they did last week.
Yeah. Meanwhile, by the way, Missouri, their fans were gone by halftime. That place was a ghost town.
Really?
Yeah, Auburn might score 60.
Yeah, it's an ugly place to go to right now. The coach is on his last legs, and they're running around like the sky's falling. Should be a lot of fun, actually.
It probably will. There's real estate signs being gathered to put in the coach's yard. How about Michigan State? We're going to find out maybe a lot about them, but I'm not sure Notre Dame is the yardstick anymore.
Yeah, that's it's a fun game because of the history and the rivalry and all of those things. But I don't know that it's going to matter a whole lot to anybody when the smoke all clears. It's hard to beat them last year. I'd like to think they could do it again, but we'll see what happens. But you're right. Will it tell us anything about either of these teams? I don't think so. It might take the whole damn season to figure these guys out.
That's for sure.
Well, that's
Ray,
not
we'll look for
much.
Your game Saturday. Is it the early game?
I'm on at 7:30 on ESPNU Saturday night. Auburn at Missouri.
Okay, those fans will be lubed up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm going to try and take a Missouri boat ride when I'm out there.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Hey, before you take off, what do you think of Penn State icing the kicker?
They iced the kicker?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Oh, yeah.
No,
11,
what happened?
Yeah, they were barely ahead.
11 seconds to play. They're up 56-0 against Georgia State.
Oh,
And they called a timeout to get the kick block team in. And James Franklin said it was because, and they called it late, like at the last second, and the kicker, the snap came, he kicked it through the uprights, and he would have scored.
But
the timeout was given to the official, and the whistle blew before the snap. So they sub out the fourth-string defense that was in, and then they put in the kick team, the kick defense team, and he missed it on the next try. What do you think?
James Franklin. I think that's great coaching. James Franklin, he's one of the best there ever was and ever will be. Oh, God, I can't stand that individual. He's such a turd. It's really hilarious.
If you were on that team, would you be glad you did it?
I'd be laughing. I don't know how glad I'd be. But
if you were on the other team, would you want to punch him?
I would probably have punched him.
Yeah,
Probably.
right. Oh, Ray, have fun at your game Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not a probably puncher, guys. I throw or I go. You know what I mean?
Throw or go.
Yeah.
It's a snap decision, huh?
Yeah.
Ray Bentley, we'll talk to you next
And now
Thursday.
I'm going to go.
All right, man.
All right,
See ya.
All right, see you, Ray. Ray Bentley, we're talking football.
I want to ask
every
you,
Thursday, thanks to the score.
I want to know the last time he was in a fist fight. I want to know the last time he threw.
It's a good question. There was one time he wanted to murder us. He
Really?
was working across the street.
Yeah.
We should ask
And
him about that.
Yeah.
I think we have.
I think we.
But he
yeah,
called
we
the.
have.
He
I'm
called
pretty
the,
sure we've talked about
the
that.
line while
to
we
an
were
intern.
talking to it, and the intern came in after and said, "Someone named Rod Bentley. I think he wants to fight you. He might be a football player." And we're like, "What?" And then we went, "Oh, yeah."
Oh no! Yeah, of course. Oh
But-
God, yeah, because we made fun of his partner.
Yeah. So then, and we didn't know him yet.
No.
So then they just thought it was some crazy person.
Yeah.
They didn't realize it was, a guy we would have talked to. So
Oh
that
my
would have been funny. He would have screamed us
God.
down.
Oh,
that
he-
day.
he
That would have been
would have.
amazing.
But he wouldn't have. I mean, he wouldn't have actually punched one of us. He wanted to, but we've all wanted to punch somebody. I mean, we're going to.
Well, yeah, we're not going to, but
Yeah.
you just hear him. He likes to punch people.
He does, but he hasn't been in an actual fight. He's also got a head on
Okay,
his
we'll
shoulders.
find
He
out.
doesn't
I
want.
don't know.
He
I'll
doesn't
bet-
want to go to jail. He'd
I'll
go
bet-
to jail if he punched a guy.
I'll
He's
bet
too big.
I'll bet you he's punched someone within the last decade in the face.
I'll bet he has to.
That's not
I
in his
think that's-
family.
Yeah.
Like I can see him punching
No.
one of his kids in the face.
No, he wouldn't punch his kids.
They're men now.
Okay. Well, that still counts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You would
Yeah,
never
I
punch
get
a
that.
family member for fun in the face.
But I don't think
Oh.
he's. I bet he hasn't punched anybody since
Unless
college.
you have a YouTube
Are we betting?
channel.
Yeah, fanny pack bet.
No.
Since college?
Yeah.
No way.
No,
Definitely
I mean,
when he's in the NFL.
Off of the football field. On the football field doesn't count.
I say any. I
How
want
he's
to know
coming up with
any
dumb
time.
rules.
No, but that doesn't count. It's in the field of play. I
Doesn't
mean, people
count
do
if they're
it.
using
It's not-
Marcus of Queensberry rules.
It wouldn't count if he was a boxer.
Statistics.
But the field of play, it's football.
Yeah, you're not supposed to punch people.
Yeah. It's not an
But
Atari
guys
game.
punch guys all the time in football.
They do?
Yes. There's constantly punches being thrown in football.
No, they're not.
Yes, there
no, I
is.
watch it
When
more
there
often.
is, that's why it's on the highlights. Well, something happened in football today. Things got crazy.
Who was the last
That's
person
not
who
rare.
got punched last week?
I don't know. I don't watch it ever.
But yet people are punching guys
Yeah.
all the time.
There was kind of a punch between Green Bay and Seattle. Kind of. Week 1.
Like illegal hands to the face.
Yeah, and then an elbow to the face, even though the dude was wearing a helmet.
Mask, yeah.
Guys are always getting warnings and flags and thrown out and everything
Does anyone
else.
know what a punch is? It's not a punch.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, we'll ask next week.
Whoever it is.
Or we'll forget. One of those two things will happen.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam Alive, 97.9 GRD Rocks.